Welcome to Viet Flavours. Today, we are making an absolute bakery classic that almost everyone looks forward to during weekend dim sum: Hong Kong egg tarts. With their ultra-flaky, buttery puff pastry crust and silky smooth sweet custard center that practically melts in your mouth, these little treats are pure comfort. Making them at home is surprisingly simple, and today I'll show you how to get that bakery quality finish right in your own kitchen. This recipe yields about 12 to 15 delicious tarts, perfect for sharing with family and friends. Before we get started, here are the ingredients and exact measurements you will need for today's recipe. For the custard filling, you will need 3 large eggs at room temperature, 1/2 cup of evaporated milk at room temperature, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1 cup of hot water, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And for the crust, 1 package of store-bought puff pastry, thawed. This is typically a 450-gram package containing 2 pre-rolled sheets. A little all-purpose flour for dusting your work surface. Now, let's head to the kitchen and begin. We begin by preparing the sugar syrup. Add the granulated sugar to the hot water and stir until the sugar has completely dissolved. Set the syrup aside and allow it to cool to room temperature. It's important not to add hot syrup to the eggs, as the heat could cook them. Next, in a mixing bowl, lightly whisk together the 3 eggs and the vanilla extract. Here's a quick tip. If your supermarket eggs are a bit pale, you can use 2 whole eggs plus 1 egg yolk to give your custard a richer golden yellow color. However, if you want to stick with the authentic Hong Kong bakery style for that classic light and silky texture, go ahead and use 3 whole eggs, just like I am doing today. Now, slowly pour in the cooled sugar syrup and the evaporated milk. Whisk everything gently until fully combined. Now, strain the custard through a fine mesh sieve to remove any unmixed egg bits and excess air bubbles. This helps create a smooth, silky texture. For the best results, you can strain the mixture 2 or 3 times. I'm going to strain it twice here. Lightly dust your work surface with flour and unroll your puff pastry sheet. Using a rolling pin, roll the sheet out gently to your desired thickness. I prefer my tart crust with a bit more substance and flaky bite, so I only roll it lightly. Next, cut out circles using a round cookie cutter or a small bowl. For any leftover dough scraps, stack them flat on top of each other and roll them out again to cut extra rounds. Here is an interesting bit of food history. Puff pastry actually traces back to ancient layered doughs in the Mediterranean and Middle East, though the buttery, folded version we know today was perfected in 17th century France. Depending on your cutter size, you will get about 12 to 15 pastry circles. I am making 12 today to match my tart molds. Gently press each pastry circle into your tart molds, greased aluminum tins, or a muffin pan. Make sure to leave a slight lip extending over the rim, which keeps the crust from shrinking below the edge as it bakes. There is one crucial step before adding the filling. Gently prick the base of each pastry shell 3 to 4 times with a fork. This process, called docking, lets trapped steam escape during baking so the pastry bottom does not balloon up. Once docked, carefully pour in the strained custard, filling each shell about 90% full. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Bake the tarts at this temperature for the first 10 minutes to give the pastry that initial lift. Then reduce the heat to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for another 15 minutes. You are looking for a crisp golden brown crust and a silky custard that is just set with a gentle jiggle in the center. Turn off the oven and let the tarts rest inside for about 5 minutes before taking them out. And there you have it. Freshly baked, warm Hong Kong egg tarts straight from the oven. Let them cool slightly in their molds so they hold their shape. Then gently unmold and serve. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this recipe, please hit the like button, subscribe to Viet Flavours for more easy and delicious recipes, and share this with your fellow food lovers. Happy baking, and I will see you in the next video.